Hi, it's our second form Latin meeting of the year. You should have finished the book. I hope that you checked your work, and if you missed anything and you don't know why you missed it, please, please, please call me and ask me. You have in your workbook a final review pages, which there are quite a few worksheets on. I think this would be a really, really good preparation for you to take the final book exam. And yes, I have sent you out a final exam for the whole book. You can do this. You can do this. I know it seems overwhelming. If you have kept up with your work, you'll be fine. But it's really the only way. It's not for me to judge you, it's for you to judge yourselves. And then you know how well you kept up, how well you're doing. All right? You can check them yourselves. I've sent you the answers to either you have the answers at home or Carter, I've sent you the answers. Please don't look at the answers before you take the exam. And please, the exam is closed book. All right? This is the best way for you to know. So you can check them there at home. You can certainly send me your tests. I will be glad to check them. Or you can at least send me the results. I would like to know. Today, though, I'm not going to do our traditional do a verb synopsis on the board and made up sentences. Last week, I took you to the worksheets there in the back of your workbook and noted that there are many, many sentences. Many, many sentences. And I would like you to turn to page 192 in your workbook. And we're going to work through the sentences on that page. And then we'll see, there's another page after that. We might do those sentences as well. This is when everything you've learned comes together. And so really the best review of all, best practice of all is to have to put it all together and translate these sentences. So that is what we're going to do together on this video. And then I want you to do the worksheet pages for the final review and check them, and then take the final exam, and we'll see how you do. Okay? On page 192 in your workbook, the first sentence is milites in foro acivibus opponantur. Let's attack it. What do we always do? Start with the verb, right? Opponantur. Oh, and by the way, you could shut the video off and try to translate these on your own and then turn the video back on and see how you did. But it's okay if you just want to work through them together. I'm just basically going to work through the sentences. Okay, oppunio means attack. And I see it is in the present tense. And inter tells me it's passive and it's they. They are attacked. Is there anything in our sentence that could be the they? I need something in the nominative case, and it needs to be plural. And I see milites is nominative and plural. The soldiers are attacked. In foro. Well, we know that forum is the forum, right? And foro is ablative. So it's in with the ablative. So it just means in the forum. Acivibus. Now we have learned that when we have a passive verb, whoever's doing it, we use a or ab with the ablative. And here I see a with the ablative. By the citizens. So to put it together, the soldiers in the forum are being attacked by the citizens. Excuse me, my throat's a little sore today. Okay, number 2. Civium aurum e templo movebitur. Let's start with the verb. Movio means move. Bitur is future and it's passive. He, she, or it will be moved. I need a he, she, or it. What in this sentence is nominative and singular? Aurum, gold. The gold will be moved. Civium. That can only be one thing. It can only be genitive plural. Of the citizens. The gold of the citizens will be moved a templo. Out of the temple. See, it seems really easy, doesn't it, when you attack it bit by bit? And it is easy when you attack it bit by bit. Okay. In calle alto, scuta et fera gallorum videntur. Let's start with the verb. Video means see. It's present tense and it's passive. They are seen. Okay. What could be the they? Scuta et fera. Those are both neuter, so these are nominative plural endings. Shields and iron weapons. Shields and iron weapons are seen. Okay? In calle alto. All right, calle and alto are both ablative. On the high hill. Shields and iron weapons are seen on the high hill. We only have one word left, gallorum. Orum is a genitive plural ending, isn't it? Of the Gauls. Shields and iron weapons of the Gauls are seen on the high hill. Okay, number 4. Galli ab vinam Romanorum monebantur. The verb, monebantur. Moneo means warn. Banter is imperfect and it's passive. They were warned. What could be the they? How about Galli? The Gauls were warned. Ab. Do you remember what ab means? On account of. On account of, and it takes the accusative. And here we see vinum is accusative. On account of the wine. The Gauls were warned on account of the wine Romanorum of the Romans. The Gauls were warned because of the Romans' wine, or because of the wine of the Romans. I don't know, maybe it's particularly strong. It makes you drunk fast. I don't know. Okay, number 5. Ooh, it's English and they want us to put it into Latin. I know we can do it. Brave soldiers are not frightened by little spears. I don't know, little spears could still poke you. Okay, okay. Are not frightened. They are not frightened. That's our verb. Actually, let's just start with the brave soldiers. Let's start with the subject. Soldiers, and it's the subject. Milites. What kind of soldiers? Brave soldiers. Milites fortes. Are not frightened. Okay, we know not is known. Okay, frighten is terio. Are frightened is passive and it's present tense. So terentur. Terentur. By little spears. Okay, are little spears living things? I hope not. That just conjures up a very odd picture in my head. Probably not. So since they're doing it, but they're not living, we have ablative of means. We don't need the a or ab. We just put it in the ablative. So little spears needs to go in the ablative. What is spears? Tellum. Remember, tellum? So the ablative plural would be tellis. And little has to go with it. Parvis tellis. So we have milites fortes, parvis tellis, non terentur. All right, number 6. Magister discipulis, bonum est magno studio laborare. Okay, magister discipulis. Literally, it doesn't have a verb, does it? Magister is like a subject, the teacher, and then discipulis is dative, to the students. The master to the students, colon. This is what the master says to the students. Okay, what does he say? Est means he, she, or it is. It is good. Bonum. You could say good is, but that's not very good English, is it? We say it is good. It is good, laborare, to work, magno studio, with great enthusiasm. Okay, it's sort of like by means of great enthusiasm. It's sort of an ablative of means. 7. Imperator a militibus exercitus Romani ad forum portabatur. Excuse me again. Okay, start with the verb, portabatur. Porto means carry. Batur is imperfect, and it is passive. He, she, or it was carried. Now, let's look and see if there's a thing that could be the he, she, or it. Looks like imperator. That's nominative. The general was carried. Ad forum. To the forum. Oh, and then I see a militibus. Remember, if whoever's doing it is a living thing, and soldiers are living things, it's ablative of agent, by the soldiers. The general was carried to the forum by the soldiers, and then we have exercitus Romani. Oh, exercitus, that's tough. Okay, it's not the subject, we already have a subject, but it can be other things. Us, ui, u, us, ibis, us, ibis. It could be a direct object. Well, we're not going to have a direct object. We've got passive. Could be nominative plural. Can't be. We already have a subject. So we're stuck with genitive of the army. Oh, and look at Romani. It's genitive too, of the Roman army. The general was carried to the forum by soldiers of the Roman army. Okay, number 8. Legatus a senatore pro domu salutabatur. Let's start with the verb. Saluto means greet, and batur is imperfect, and it's passive. He, she, or it was greeted. What could be the he, she, or it? How about legatus? The lieutenant was greeted. A senatore. Ablative of agent, by the senator. Pro domu. Pro takes the ablative, and it means in front of the house. The lieutenant was greeted by the senator in front of the house. Okay, number 9. Proelium a populo sine gladiis in urbis viis punyabatur. I'm going to hang in there. Okay, punyabatur. Punyo means fight. Batur is imperfect, and it is passive. He, she, or it was fought. What could be the he, she, or it? How about proelium? A battle was fought. And that makes sense too. Okay. A populo. Okay, populo is a living person, people, ablative of agent, by the people. Sine gladiis, without swords. Battle was fought by people without swords in urbis viis. Okay, in only can have the accusative or the ablative, right? Urbis is genitive. That can't be the thing that goes with the in. It must be viis. It's ablative plural. In the streets of the city. So let's put it all together. A battle was fought by people without swords in the streets of the city. You guys are good. You can do this. Okay. 10. Victoria sociis Romanorum ab imperatore nunciabatur. Nuncio means announce. Batur is imperfect and it's passive. He, she, or it was announced. What could be the he, she, or it? Victoria. The victory was announced. Sociis. That can only be ablative or dative. Sociis are allies. They're living things. It can't be ablative of means because they're living things. So maybe it's dative. To the allies. The victory was announced to the allies. Romanorum. Orum is genitive plural of the Romans. To the allies of the Romans. Ab imperatore. Now we have our air ab with the ablative. Now we have our ablative of agent. Who did it? By the general. The victory was announced to the allies of the Romans by the general. Okay. Number 11. The spirit of the people was being changed by barbarians. The spirit. It's the subject. Do you remember the word for spirit? Animus. Of the people. We need people, populus, but we need it to be genitive. Populi. Animus populi. Was being changed. Muto means change, but it's passive and it's imperfect. So muta is our stem, and then we need our imperfect ending. Barbarus batter. Muta batter. By the barbarians. Are the barbarians living things? Yes, they are. So it's an ablative of agent. So we need to use a or ab with the ablative. A barbaris with an is. A barbaris. Animus populi a barbaris mutabatur. Okay, number 12. Urbis vala ab hastium militibus oppugnantur. Oppugnantur. We already did this one in sentence 1. Oppugno means attack. It's present tense and it's passive. They are attacked. Now we need a they. So I look through the sentence. I need a they. I need it to be nominative and plural. And the only thing I see is vala. The walls or the ramparts are attacked. What case is urbis? Urbs, urbis. It's genitive, of the city. The ramparts of the city are attacked. Oh, and now I see a or ab. Do I have a living thing there? Yes, soldiers, militibus. By the soldiers, hastium, of the enemies. Genitive plural. The ramparts of the city are attacked by soldiers of the enemies. Okay, one more here. Winds are loved by sailors and eagles. Winds, the plural of wind as the subject. Ventus is wind, so the plural is venti. Venti are loved. It's present tense, but it's passive, isn't it? Because something's happening to the winds. The winds are being loved. So, amor, amaris, amatur, amamer, amamini, amontur, amontur. By sailors and eagles. Are sailors and eagles both living things? They are indeed. So we need to use a or ab with the ablative. A What is sailors in the ablative plural? Nautis. Nautis et aquilis. Hey, how'd you do? This is pretty tough. It's pretty crazy, but it puts everything you've learned together. All right, I'm just feeling very bold. Let's turn the page to page 193. All right, we're going to do this. Frumentum brachiis fortibus servorum trahebatur. Traho means haul. Batur is imperfect and it's passive. It, he, she, or it was hauled. Is there anything that could be the he, she, or it? All I see is frumentum. Grain was hauled. Okay, now I see brachiis. It's ablative, but it's got no a or ob. I guess that makes sense because it means arms. And arms, well, arms are living things, but not by themselves, okay? Grain was hauled by the arms. What kind of arms? Fortibus. That's ablative plural too. By the strong arms. Servorum. It's genitive plural of the slaves. Grain was being hauled by the strong arms of the slaves. Number 2. Civium liberorum urb studio et gaudio struatur. Struatur. Struo means build. Struo, struery. It's third conjugation. And that means whenever I see that E there, it's future. It doesn't use vobispit. It has an E in the future and an I in the present. And it's passive. He, she, or it will be built. Is there anything that could be the he, she, or it? There's only one thing I see that's nominative and singular verbs. A city will be built. Let's take a look at civium liberorum. Civium can only be one thing. Is ema, s eum, ebus, s ebus. Eum. It's got to be genitive plural of citizens. Look at liberorum. Orum is genitive plural as well, of free citizens. A city of free citizens will be built. Studio et gaudio. Okay, it's got no a or ob, so it must be like an ablative of means. By enthusiasm and joy, or by eagerness and joy. That's the means by which we will build the city. And eagerness and joy are not living things. So we don't need the a or ob. Okay. Multi barbari subsinio exercitus Romani ducuntur. Holy cow. Duco means lead. That looks like present tense to me, but it's passive. They are led. What could be the they? Multi-barbary? Many barbarians are led. Subsinio. Under the sign, in this case they mean like the army standard, under the sign, exercitus Romani, of the Roman army. Genitive. Many barbarians are being led under the sign of the Roman army. Number 4. Vox senatoris pigri in foro non audietur. Okay. Audio means hear. But when we have a fourth conjugation and I see that IE, it screams out future to me. It's also passive, future passive. He, she, or it will be heard. But we have a noun. He, she, or it will not be heard. Okay? What could be the he, she, or it? Is there anything that's nominative and singular. How about vox? The voice will not be heard. Senatoris. Senator, senatoris. That's genitive, isn't it? Of the senator. Pigri. Hey, that's genitive too. Of the lazy senator. The voice of the lazy senator will not be heard in fora. In the forum. Apparently he's too lazy to talk up. I don't know. Maybe he needs a megaphone. Okay, number 5. Orator clamore omnium civium impeditur. Impedio means hinder. It looks present tense to me, but it's passive. He, she, or it is hindered. What could be the he, she, or it? Orator. The speaker is hindered. Okay, clamore. It's ablative. Doesn't have an a or ob. Clamore, though, is shouting. Shouting is not a living thing. So it looks like an ablative of means. The speaker is hindered by shouting, by the shouting, omnium civium. Genitive and plural of all the citizens. The speaker is hindered by the shouting of all the citizens. Okay, number 6. Lignum forte ex silvae arboribus militum labore facitur. Start with the verb, facitur. Facio means make. It looks present tense, but it's passive. He, she, or it is made. Now let's look, can we find anything that could be the he, she, or it? Lignum, wood. Wood is made. Well, lignum is neuter. Oh, so is forte. Strong wood. Strong wood is made. Ex silvae arboribus. Okay, ex takes the ablative. Is silvae ablative? It's not. But arboribus is from the trees. Then what should I do with silvae? Well, it's not the plural subject. It's not the indirect object. But genitive, it might be of the forest. Let's try that. From the trees of the forest. Oh, I like that. Okay. Strong wood is made from the trees of the forest. Labore militum. Miles milites. Militum. That's genitive. That means of the soldiers. Labore. Labor, laboris. That means work. And it's ablative. Is work a living thing? I don't think it is. Maybe labore is the ablative of means. By the work of the soldiers. Strong wood is made from the trees of the forest by the work of the soldiers. Now, do you see how this is a long, complicated sentence, but I broke it up little by little. I carved away at it. If there's a word that can only be one thing, like militum, it's got to be genitive plural. It's got to mean of the soldiers. It can't mean anything else. Keep that in mind. It's sort of like putting a puzzle together. Okay, let's look at number 7. Parvus ager contra lupos a pastore munietur. Munio means fortify. And whenever I see a fourth conjugation verb with IE, I know we're talking about future and it's passive. He, she, or it will be fortified. All right, what could be the thing being fortified? Do we have a subject? Ager means field. Parbus ager, the small field, will be fortified. Contra lupos, against wolves. Remember, contra takes the accusative. A pastore. By the shepherd. Are shepherds living things? Yes, they are. So we have the shepherd is the thing doing it, the one doing it. The small field will be fortified against the wolves by the shepherd, which is a good idea. Okay. Next one, number 8. Barbari a imperatoris brachio forti vincuntur. Vinco means conquer. And this looks very present tense to me, but it is passive. They are conquered. Who? What could be the subject? How about barbari? The barbarians are conquered. We got anybody doing it? Oh, I see an A with imperatoris. Oh, shoot. Imperatoris? That's not ablative. Ooh, brachio is ablative. By the arm of the general. The barbarians are conquered by the arm of the general. What do we do to forti? What is strong? Well, we got to figure out what case forti is, don't we? It certainly could be dative. We don't have anything else in our sentence that's dative. Do you remember that third declension adjectives in the ablative singular have an I instead of an E? This could be ablative singular, and I think it is. It's by the strong arm of the general. All right, number 9. Dormivistine in Villa Harry. Okay. Dormio means sleep. All right, I see the nay. It's a question, but we're going to ignore the fact that it's a question for a little while. Okay. I see the third principal part, dormivi. So it must be a perfect tense. It's got the I, isti, it. So it's perfect tense. You slept, or you did sleep, or you have slept. In villa. In the farmhouse. Harry. Yesterday. Okay, you did sleep in the farmhouse yesterday. Let's turn it into a question. Did you sleep in the farmhouse yesterday? Excellent. Okay, 10. Cur lente laboravisti? Laboravisti. Okay, I see the third principal part of laboro, work. Isti, you worked. Or you did work, or you have worked. Cur, why have you worked lente? Slowly. Why have you worked slowly? Remember, we can take any adjective, asa adjective, and we put an E on the end and it turns into an adverb. Lentus, slow, turns into lente, slowly. Okay, let's do these last 3. Gold will be discovered in the mountains of Gaul. Gold is the subject. Aurum. Will be discovered. Invenio means discover, find or discover. It's passive. Gold will be discovered, and it's future. Invenietur. Remember, the future would be inveniet. We need IE to make it future. Inveniet tur to make it passive. In the mountains. In, and then we need mountains to be plural and ablative. Montibus. In Montibus of Gaul. Gallia is Gaul, and we need it to be genitive. Galliae. Aurum invenietur in Montibus Galliae. Okay, next one. After the battle, the city was being ruled by a Roman general. After the battle. After is post. Now we need to know what case post takes. If you remember, post takes the accusative. So post proelium. The city, that's the subject of our main sentence here, herbs, was being ruled. Rule is rego. Our stem was reggae, and we needed passive and imperfect. Batur. Reggae batur. By a Roman general. Is the Roman general a living creature? Yes, he is. So we need a or ab. Ab, general. Imperatore Romano. Imperatore Romano, because they need to both be ablative and singular and masculine. Post proelium, herbs, ab imperatore Romano regebatur. Okay, one more. They built the windows and doors of the farmhouse. They built. Struo means built. Struo, struery, struxi. Struxi is the third principal part of struo. So strux is our stem. They built. That's perfect tense. So we need e isti it. Imus is just erunt. Strux erunt. They built windows. What is the word for window? Fenestra. Okay. Fenestras. Fenestras. Et. They also built doors. Januas. Of the farmhouse. Farmhouse is villa, but we need it to be genitive, villae. Struxerunt, fenestras, et januas, villae. Okay, these were tough, very challenging sentences. If you can do these, I feel like you can do anything. You know what you need to be studying for this final exam for the book. You need to know all your principal parts. You need to go over all your vocabulary. You need to be able to do the active voice, all the tenses. You need to do the passive voice in present, imperfect, and future tenses. All right? If you have any questions, please give me a call, and I will be glad to grab my workbook, and I will work through any of this with you. There are quite a few pages in the final review, but we have done 3 pages together. So you actually have 10 pages, and actually last time in the last lecture we did some of those sentences as well. A lot of it is just practice with sentences and practice with conjugating. Go through those. Check them. Make sure you understand. If you make any mistakes, make sure you understand why you made the mistakes. And then when you are ready, grab the final exam, do it closed book. You may check it yourself, but I'd also love to see a copy and get the results so I know how you're doing. This is our last video. This is our last class meeting for the year. So if you're going to be my student again next year, I will be seeing you in the fall. And if not, and if you don't go on with Latin, I hope that you feel like the work you've done here will pay off in vocabulary and just general organization of thought. Latin is a great tool, and you guys have worked hard in this book. So well done. Work hard, take your exam, let me know how you did, and enjoy your summer. Bye-bye.